back to episode 3 of Work in Progress. This is our show every week on Sunday, 10 a.m. PST, where we talk about creative things. I'm your host, Steinex, aka Justin, and well, you can find me here on Twitch. If you found me, then here I am. This is really the only social media I have. You can also, in my profile, there's a link to my YouTube as well, where these VODs will be uploaded. All right, and these are my friends. Go ahead.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Benny. I'm a digital artist. I like to write as well. I only have my only social media outlet is Twitter. It's where most of my art will go. Most of the stuff I'm writing, I'm just kind of keeping under tabs and sharing with a little circle. But yeah, that's about it for me. You can follow me on Twitter _BennyRoma_.
My
Who's
name
next
is-
up on the line?
Caleb.
My name's Caleb Boxanova. I'm also mostly on Twitter. I'm a comic artist, OC character designer, and I have dabbled in a few OCTs. You can find me on Twitter at Boxanova with 2 A's at the end, and same as Instagram, and I guess TikTok. I don't really post there though, but mostly on Twitter.
Yeah, name's Logan, but people call me Lapino online. I also have the same exact handle on everything else that I use: Twitter, Facebook, or Twitter, Tumblr, fucking Instagram, just all good old Lapino. And yeah, I'm a comic writer, makinator. I like to draw. I like to design characters, and I'm gonna be doing some cool as fuck writing today.
I'm next, right?
Yep.
I'm Elio Junestar. I use that name on everything pretty much. I mainly use Twitter and TikTok. I have an Instagram, but I do not fuck with Instagram. And I'm also a digital artist, but I'm also learning 3D art stuff. Like I'm in university studying game design and animation, and I hope to make my own video games one day soon. So or comics or cartoons or something. We're making something, chat. And yeah, that's about it for me.
The grind.
All right. Let's start with some small talk today, chat. How's everybody?
Alrighty. Good.
I'm good. Up nice and early on my day off. Nice weekend.
I've been up early too, and it's nice. I like being up this early.
Getting up early is kind of chill.
I finished
I like the
my
atmospheres and the vibes of the morning.
If I liked coffee, I would go outside, bring like a lawn chair, and just chill if it was warm enough.
Wait,
Let's be real.
I get it.
I
know,
get
we're
it
gonna
now. I've also been up
Getting
early
in
a
the
lot this week. I've been sick this week. That's why the VOD wasn't uploaded until Friday. For last week's episode. But yeah, I've been up early. I had to take the kids to school and stuff. So
I've been,
always.
I've been having to go to the doctor recently a lot because I've been hurting. But other than that, I've been fucking Vito DD.
Yeah, how is that, by the way? Is your thumb better?
Still have the splint on, but at least I can draw with my other hand since I'm right-handed and it's on the left hand, so I'm good.
Yeah.
So what happened to your thumb?
So I got this thing called a ganglion cyst, and it's like right underneath the thumb, like joint. So it hurts to bend it and shit, and I just have to keep the fucker stable so it just go away on its own. But it's just like, damn, God just kind of nerfed me for a little bit.
Okay, dude, why does the name
That
sound
was-
like a fucking Pokemon or something?
Ganglion. That's
Yeah.
actually kind of true.
That Ganglion would be a fire Pokemon.
Where the fuck did bro get an anus? Oh, never mind. I know what that is. Well, I can leave that there. I did not feel like drawing today, but then I remembered I can just fucking model. That is also art, because I do fuck with modeling right now. We're making my little Sona guy. Look at this dude.
It's more variety too.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
Fucking.
I ain't gonna lie.
I forgot. I didn't open your stream. I didn't even see it. But now
I
that
just.
Oh, by the way, on
That's
Twitch,
when I
Justin,
really
your
get-
stream is listed as being a Val stream.
did it
Again.
update yet?
There you go.
Okay. Sorry.
Go.
Fuck,
Okay,
dude.
my guy-
Every time. It's because you have to click done. Even though I have changed the information and it says in the information stays changed, I have to click done for it to update to Twitch, and it's fucked up.
My
Anyway.
guy accidentally has cheekbones, and I don't know how to get rid of them. I keep trying to
That's good.
smooth them out, but
You
He's-
fucking the little dude is locked in.
He's a mewer, bro.
He's doing.
Let bro mew.
You can yeah wait that's like kind of funny because it's like the eyes you can see like the fucking what would you call it, like the temple bone, like the eye socket,
Yeah. Wait, no, I do see it.
and like Jimmy Neutron.
To say
Oh,
like
God.
I obviously haven't practiced sculpting as much as like drawing, so I still have a lot to learn with this. But I
think
can't sculpt shit, so
I think it's coming up pretty good.
I just
Yeah,
need
it's really smooth looking.
I just need to make his. It's better than my old one. I think I can pull up my old one.
I love modeling, dude.
This
I
this is the
fucking-
one from my last time.
That one's
Yeah.
also pretty good. I could see the improvement a lot with the
Yup.
new one.
Y'all killing
Like-
it out there, huh?
There
I
we
love-
go. There, look at the difference. This
Even the
guy.
proportions too.
The old one was chunkier.
Look at the little fatty. I like how everyone's like getting to work on like good art, and then me and Caleb were getting warmed up, ready to go.
Well, I was talking about sitting outside. I don't drink coffee, so I drew myself with a fucking crushing a fat beer.
I don't like caffeine, but alcohol is.
I love alcohol. I don't fuck
Don't
with
even get me
caffeine though. That
started.
shit's that shit's a drug.
You know,
It's
that,
like
that shit's bad
Ah.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing my warm up, and my pen died because I forgot to charge it last night, so I have to wait like a good like 2 minutes for it to charge. So
Dummy.
Terrible for you. Even though I fuck with coffee, I need to start buying decaf because caffeine is terrible for my anxiety.
caffeine sucks, but like the smell of coffee is so goddamn good.
Dude, I
It
game
is. I
so
don't
much
like
better on
coffee.
caffeine, dude. I can't. I need it now.
Trust me, I've tried. Wait, that sounds pretty true. Caffeinated while playing a fucking Valorant.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe I'll make a cup of Joe or drink a Monster, and we'll play Rainbow later.
Yeah.
A
Powering it
cup of
up.
I'm trying to decide someday. Maybe you guys can help me decide for this model.
Okay.
What is it, my
So-
little boy?
His cheek thingies. Should I make him like 3-dimensional, kind of like his little paw thingies, or should they just be like drawn on with a texture, like kind of like Pikachu's cheek things? What do you think? Should they
like
be
that.
3-dimensional or no?
I think you can make them 3-dimensional. I like how they look for the paws a lot.
He has little paws.
Yeah,
I can see him protrude a little bit.
just a tad.
So I'm trying to. I should do the. I'm trying to remember how
Oh, who did
I had
lose?
to get my teeth.
Probably
Josh,
Yoshi
probably.
Infinite.
And ooh,
Gosh, more like fucking gone.
What?
I miss Yosh.
all right, let me get into the real business. I don't know what to draw, but
Speaking of getting to the real business, today's topic of the day is gonna be writing. We're talking about writing. Everyone's been writing this week. How has the writing been this week?
The grind has been.
I think it's Yasha's return. But yeah.
Return of the Yursh.
Well, the harvest has been quite bountiful. I've been, I think I mentioned it on, it was either the first episode or second episode. I mentioned I've been writing a lot of world building for my own little sci-fi story, and I've been focused recently on the technology because every sci-fi world needs technology, and some of the stuff is new concepts that I'm like, all right, well, let me have an explanation for it, so that way, going forward, I know how it works. But some of it is way older, like from when the idea was first conceived, and it's finally having like an in-universe explanation that I'm satisfied with. So that's been really nice. That's kind of been the theme of my writing recently. It's been something that's been around for a long time, but it's finally being fleshed out in a way that I'm satisfied with, and there's been dopamine rush after dopamine rush after dopamine rush, and I'm starting to slow down on the writing kick, but I'm not like I don't feel like I'm falling too bad. I feel like I'm like satisfied. I'm coming down from the high, which is why I'm drawing today instead of writing.
You got your work put in, and I respect it because getting that
Thank you.
dopamine rush for writing is very hard, especially for me.
Yeah, no, it takes a minute.
See, what I've noticed since I've been writing and doing. Yeah, we can't hear you, Yash, by the way.
Yeah.
When it comes to writing and stuff, I pretty much view it the same, like in a similar manner to how when people draw, like you just gotta try to focus up and devote all attention towards what you want to write, and then once you have something in mind, it's just kind of like once you start getting stuff down, it really does start pumping out at a rapid pace, and it feels good. I've been on a big, like old Benjamin as well. I've been on a big writing kick as well, working on my own special projects. Being an accomplished writer is really nice. Oh, there she goes.
It's tough work. At
Uh,
least getting the inspiration.
I still need to write my stuff down more physically because I just been busy. Because before, you already know, I kept my shit in my brain. I did fuck with hella videos and books though about like writing better, like with writing character arcs, world building, character development, all that. Because I want to write an actually good story and not just fucking like Dragon Ball story, which is it's fun, but I don't know if it's
it's good at times.
at times, but I want it to be objectively good.
True.
Yeah,
'Cause, like Dragon Ball's good, right? But like that writing be kind of like, damn, Toriyama forgot his own fucking characters.
you gotta
How do you
be you,
think
you gotta pull an Oda with it, and then make every single fucking thing matter.
But like, speaking of inspirations, that was my first question for today. What inspired you guys to start writing? Like, where where was that first thing that you're like, oh shit, like I like that. Let me write something about that.
I think it's better to ask, like, because for most of us, the reason we write is the reason we draw, right? Because, like, I think mine's more technically what inspired me to start drawing, and then from that, I started writing,
Yeah. So
Which
what is
would
it?
coincidentally be fucking Dragon Ball.
What is it that
'Cause
inspired you?
I fuck with Dragon Ball. I watched that shit on Nicktoons, and I was like, I fuck with this shit.
Fucking with Dragon Ball.
Fucking with Dragon Ball. And people be hating on that, but some of Dragon Ball is written pretty well. Like, Gohan's arc up until the Cell Saga is pretty good.
I liked
And
High School Gohan. Don't fuck with me.
I like High School Gohan too, but fucking people start hating on him in the Boo Saga, which they didn't before. My
Uh,
only issue with him in the Boo Saga is how Bro fumbles the fight against Boo. He should have at least like done more damage to him,
that's what I was saying, dude.
Now you gotta put a Dragon Ball spoiler alert, like nobody has seen it.
Is it weird to be too intimidated to actually start watching Dragon Ball?
Nah.
Nah.
Wrong, but,
It is long. Like most
But-
shonen, it's long.
Caleb, you've never actually seen Dragon Ball?
No, I wasn't into it even when it was on
Nicktoons.
Nicktoons when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it and I'm like, this looks stupid.
If you do want to watch it, watch the abridged. It is like, literally the best version of it.
Okay.
It's just kind of funny. Just watch the abridged and then continue from there if you want to see more of it.
I
Because
might-
by the way,
it-
the abridged covers the best arcs, which
It
is
might be-
Frieza Cell.
Yeah, I'll see how far I get if I do ever start. Because I started One Piece and I'm still
I'm
on
on chapter 3 of One Piece.
chapter 3. Oh,
Yeah,
Fuck,
I'm just chapter
keep it
5.
up.
pretty good.
I was gonna read more. I finally started reading manga again, but when I was reading, I was like, man, fuck this. I want to read Berserk and Poon Poon more. I've been reading the fuck out of Poon Poon. Poon Poon is so fucking good.
Fuck is Poon Poon.
Oh,
don't know what
Oh,
we-
Yasumi Pum Pum. You ever
Uh,
heard about Yasumi Pum Pum?
It's
Uh-uh.
only a manga. It doesn't have an anime because it wouldn't work as well as an anime. But it's basically like about this fucked up little kid. Like you're going through his life, right? But he's kind of everybody's like normal ass anime humans, right? Kind of. But imagine the main character is just drawn like a fucking little ghost with a beak. That's how he's just drawn. It's kind of hard to explain.
He's like a
It's
little duck.
fucking weird.
But
Yeah,
he's,
he's like,
he's just a kid. People treat him
well,
as a human?
not the whole time. It's like about like the fucking drama. I don't know how to. I'm not that far, so I don't know everything. But fucked up shit happens definitely. I don't know. It's kind of psychological horror. I don't know how to describe. It's really good though. It's really popular too. So I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of it.
Hard to describe. It's like it's like a manga.
If I've seen the design of the main character, I'd probably recognize it.
I think you have seen them.
Yeah, probably.
I'll get a picture of him to put in general.
I was gonna say that funny enough, this happens to me when drawing too, but music is probably one of my bigger inspirations for writing. As I remember last year,
He's so
I
wide.
think, I wrote a... Oh, Marge. Hold yourself together. Hold yourself together. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, look at this fucking guy.
But last year I wrote a little prologue for Constellation Orion. So I was like, fuck it. I need to know how the story actually starts. And as outdated as it is now, with Orion starting out waking up from a fucking weird dream, and then it basically a mini introduction of all the characters up until the point where shit gets real. Without saying too much before I want to start rewriting it. It was really fun. That was the same kind of dopamine hit that happened to me in like probably like a few hours, because I did it all in one sitting, and I was like, huh, this is pretty good. And I shared it, and I was like, wow. You know, I felt accomplished. I was like, huh, good. I never did it again.
Honestly, I relate to you a lot. That's kind of my inspirations as well. It's like listening to a song and be like, oh shit, like, and then like a scenario pops in your head, and you just write it out
That's happens to
based on
me a
like
lot.
just like the feeling of this track, and you're like, oh shit, that's dope.
A little slightly off topic. I feel like I need to start sharing music with you, because I see you've been listening to a lot of Linkin Park,
Yes.
and
Oh, what if you
I've
could-
dabbled, but I want to get into it more because I think it would. I think from what I've heard, it sounds pretty good.
He
Well-
might link with the park.
I might.
Dude, Linkin
But-
Park is like the perfect anime fight music. For some reason, it just fits everything. It like
Yeah.
captures the rage of an anime fight, the slow moments, the flashbacks, everything that happens in an anime fight. The power up scenes, like you can listen to a Linkin Park song and you're like, this is the moment in the song where the scene would play out, and it would be raw as fuck.
I think rock as a whole kind of fits the bill too,
Yeah.
because a lot of Roman got me heavy into Foo Fighters. So I've listened to like every album by now, and I think a lot of rock is just kind of built on like power. It makes you feel powerful. It's uplifting in certain ways, certain aspects.
Yeah, it has
But
That's a good way to put it.
has great energy.
Exactly. I love rock energy. I love punk. I love grunge. But that's where I get my.
and roll. I love it so much.
Yeah, I wanna rock it. Oh, sorry, copyright.
If if you don't know, Benny, we're talking about inspirations right now. Since I saw you were away, I don't know if you caught me ask the question.
I did catch the you asking the question. So inspirations for writing. That's an interesting one. I guess I would more so because like a lot of my inspirations for writing, I think it's more subconscious than me directly being able to call it out. But I guess one I'll say for now is George Lucas, because obviously Star Wars is anyone who's into sci-fi is more than likely was into Star Wars at one point. I am. And one of my favorite aspects of it is we love to make fun of it, but just the amount of characters or like planets that they're not relevant to the movies or the shows, but maybe a comic or maybe a one-off line in a book. And it's when you read into it, there's so much to them, and I really it's sometimes it's funny, but also it's like I kind of respect it because it makes everything feel so much more alive. Like again, it's things that are more important. Obviously, you have like explanations for how does a lightsaber work, and then he explains it. It's really cool. It ties into the actual tech of the universe, but also the mysticism. But then again, you have a character who is in the background of the cantina, but he has a backstory. What he did before the movie, what he does after, what he's doing in the prequels and the sequels. It's really fun, just how deep it goes. And so I kind of want to have. I like doing that where it's like a character, even if they're not necessarily super important, there's a lot to them. It makes them feel like a person, makes the universe feel bigger.
I feel like a lot of media, I feel like kind of misses that sometimes, but a lot of it, when they do it right, they do it really well,
Yeah,
making people feel like people.
yeah, exactly. Because it's easy, and I wouldn't even say it's a bad thing to just keep your central cast. Those are the kids who get fleshed out. But so people talking about recently in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. A lot of the extras, they have 1 to 2 lines, but they're lines that are delivered in a way that kind of makes the character feel more than an extra. It's like, yeah, that's a person who lives in the city who was saved by Spider-Man. And it goes a long way to really liven the world, even if it's not a lot.
I think Spider-Man 2 does that really well with the train scene.
Yeah. I love Spider-Man 2 so much.
That was such a good fuck. I get honestly on the similar topic. Spider-Man is just a kind of a huge inspiration for a lot of my stories as well.
He is the goat, the spider goat.
Not only for character writing, but kind of story building as well. Spider-Man, I feel Spider-Man's sprinkled around in a little bit of everything.
I think it's a good way because it's it's the call to action. It's you kind of are thrown into you're thrown into a situation where you could have everything, but depending on the person you are, you don't want everything. You want what you need,
Exactly.
and you protect everything. It's a really interesting
It's
little
funny, too.
story.
I see that a lot with like Superman discourse online too, and it's like
I love Superman. He gets too much hate.
I think it's really fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I am a Superman hater.
Why?
I've been hating Superman.
I'm a Superman hater, but I really like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Well, duh. You can't be both.
Can't like
You
both.
Can't like both. That's
No,
like
the
crime.
image of the guys putting up their bandanas in LA in the Crips.
I like Superman and like a lot of the Justice League stories, but I don't really fuck with his individual stories because I think he's kind of boring a little bit. But I mostly
just say you
hate
want him to
like
kill
the whole
people
power
directly.
scaling shit with him's really annoying. Cause like, bro, he's so inconsistent. Why do people fucking care? Like,
I think
Superman
power scaling is just dumb. I think really like
If people,
to that extent, I do think it's done. Yeah, the extent people do it too.
I think I could see it being it is fun, but I think it really should just be limited to when people are like Death Battle really should be the extent of it. Like people literally will not let characters exist without being like, well, what about this character?
Yeah.
This like the context doesn't matter. These characters will never interact, and it is fun to goof around, but a character's how valid they are shouldn't be like based on this character in a series that's completely irrelevant to them could beat them in a fight. It's like, okay, cool, I'd gaff.
All right, man. People are doing that a lot with Deku and Yuji. I see.
Yeah.
It's like, these two should
Itadori?
probably be friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that though. They're probably a little close. Actually, I'm not caught up with JJK manga, so I don't know.
Low
I'm not
key,
caught up with my
Neither am I.
hero
Low-key
either,
the
but I get spoiled.
low key they the same.
Hey, Gojo though. Gojo be like backbending everybody just because of how OP his ability is.
Yeah.
Just catch Gojo lacking though, and he gets like fucking decapitated.
Well, it's just because his ability is like I just win unless you have like a trap card that no one ever plays in your deck ever. So you better be side decking for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah,
a
but have
ego
you
thing.
seen fucking Logan's screen?
Yeah, I've been paying attention.
got a fucking issue.
Uh-oh.
The way you drew fucking Cody it doesn't look like his goggles. It looks like a fucking raccoon mask,
Oh, what
a
the
little
hell?
bandit mask.
I just tuned into whatever this was.
You never draw his goggles with any definition. You just draw them traced onto his face like it's ink.
Mm.
I forgot the Orion has these. Give me a second. There we go. Fixed.
No,
There
I
you
really,
go.
I really quickly want to say that fucking Superman is shit is like people always when it's a death battle shit they put him at his highest when he's like almost never at that level when he is it's like 1%.
Well, and people always do that for Death Battle because they do it for
That's the
power scaling
point.
because they want their favorite to win.
What's
Yeah.
the point of it?
Well, I know for an actual death battle, but I mean for like the fucking Twitter dumb fucking arguments. Like at the regular, like if Bro just showed up on a planet like with the other OP characters, he would do a lot more even than he would at his peak. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's usually not at that level.
I thought Death Battle was over.
But, like Goku's usually at his peak, for example, or
No, they
Saitama.
closed Rooster Teeth, but Death Battle's still a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know Rooster Teeth did death battle.
I think.
Yeah, they did. They signed Screw Attack, which is now just rebranded to Death Battle. But yeah.
Rest in
I
peace.
remember watching Screw Attack videos like fucking long ass time ago, like Mortal Kombat Screw Attack stuff.
I'd sit in
That's-
the living room and watch this with my cousin.
Yeah.
What?
Let's
Where
not get off topic.
Yeah, we're talking about inspirations and Logan. I know modern inspirations for you is probably something like One Piece, right?
It is exactly One Piece. So back in the '90s when I was a fucking wee little lad, I was never born in the '90s. So I
I'm not a 90s kid. but
Back in the 90s, I didn't exist.
back in the 90s, right before I was
But
born.
Oda did.
Before, like, he's gonna give the whole One Piece origin. Back before I was born, there was a little comic that came out called One Piece.
I got super into writing stories and coming up with my own ideas because of gag animes and manga from the early 2000s, mainly because I was a kid with no supervision on the internet, given a Netflix account, and I got into Sergeant Frog. That was like
Oh,
that.
like, oh,
That was my peak fucking gateway into like, oh, if they can do something like this, I can totally do stuff like this.
Is that
And
the
then
little
like
thing?
watching fucking old stupid anime on Netflix, and then watching fucking Minecraft machinimas, like that spiraled me down to a hole of like, okay, I want to make a cartoon, I want to make a game, I want to make a comic, I want to make all these cool fucking things. And I kept writing and writing and writing, and then I kept getting into more things, more stupid things, even more stupid crap that you can imagine. And then that kind of like fluctuated my brain to being like, yo, this is how you actually write a story. And I'm actually getting used to like character continuities, interactions, world building, development. And it's just like, yes, One Piece was the absolute fucking ruiner for me because that pretty much tipped me over the edge on how to make a perfect series. And getting into it from there was just like, yo, writing's kind of fucking cool. I kind of want to stick with this.
Speaking
And
of,
so
look at this
I've never been
guy.
the same man since.
Look at this guy.
It
Did
really
my
is a
stream
lot of
shut
fun.
off?
Yeah. That's me. That's what I look like when I like get electrocuted and
This
die.
Benny when he dies.
Shit, look at that. Oh my god. Wait, it actually is.
Actually, the app crashed. Of course it fucking did.
I think we covered
Why does it
everyone.
do that?
For me, I like
move it.
I like fantasy stories, and isekai suck, but I think fantasies are really cool, and it'd be really cool if a guy had like a lot of cool powers and stuff, and then like he like did stuff, you know what I'm saying? And like, what if like there was like a long running animated fantasy series, you know, and like it like was like around for like a long time, so I
And
can
was
watch it.
hype.
So then I could watch it like all the time. And then I was like, wait, if I just write stuff in my head all the time, then it's like I'm watching something, but it's like I made it, so it goes forever. It goes for as long as I want it to go.
Exactly.
It's honestly so real. Because like a lot of when I think of 2630 stuff, like I said, you know, my obvious inspirations are stuff like Star Wars. But you know, it goes beyond that. There's a lot of sci-fi media out there that I love. I engage with it all the time. And 2680 is kind of like my melting pot hodgepodge of what I love most about sci-fi. You know, I love the crazy colors and settings. I love robots, so you know, there's a lot of robot stuff. But then the storyline specifically, that's inspired a lot by Star Wars. You know, you have this rising corruption, you know, wanting to overthrow everything, and you have a small little band of people who are trying to stop it. It's more so, it's less of like an actual like rebellion against it. It's more so trying to stop the empire before they can even get off the ground. So it's kind of like a race to that.
One thing I do like about writing is that it's you can kind of, because obviously a lot of our inspirations kind of come from other media, other places, and it's a completely normal thing to happen. Like it's when has that never not happened?
Everything's
Sometimes.
pretty much inspired by everything, you know?
Yeah. All from the human mind, you know. But
Yeah.
or at least as much as we could comprehend. But sometimes two different things you can mix together, make something new, and it's like, wait a fucking minute. I just mix space and rock, or I just mix robots and
And Born.
I don't know.
All right.
Porn. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys
Exactly.
were talking about music earlier, and I mean, what you guys all know is one of my biggest inspirations music-wise is ELO,
Mhm.
and that actually kind of was. I would say that band is probably the beginning of like where 2680 is now, because Logan and Jess will know because we all went to middle school together. 2680 was very different back then. It was just called Aurora, and it was kind of just. I mean, I can't remember what the story was back then. I think it, you know, it was there wasn't a lot to it, but I couldn't tell you exactly what changed in my style of like writing and character design. But I know that the big inspiration, the thing that made me want to be like, oh, I want to reapproach this, it was went to an ELO concert, and I really liked the music, so I went to listen to some of it online, and I found an album called Time, and it's a sci-fi concept album, and just it's hard for me to describe. But if you guys ever experience a piece of media where as you listen to it, you're like, this guy, like it's hard to explain, but it really just clicks with you, and it kind of just changes how you approach the creative process, and that's what that album did for me. And I'm so grateful because, as a whole, now ELO music is a very big inspiration for me. Now I'm always listening to it when I'm drawing, when I'm writing, when I'm bored. I listen to it. It's literally the only band I listen to because it's like it's integral to my creative process now, and it's fun. I literally can't get tired of the band.
I
For me,
do.
it's just other video game music, like fucking Kingdom Hearts OST or Persona OST really got me.
I listen to power ballads and Scatman John.
The fuck is
Yeah.
Scatman John?
How the
You didn't
fuck
know
do you
Scatman
not know
John
Scatman
is?
John?
Oh,
Like,
video game
who
I'm
is
the
OST
that?
scat
over
man.
here.
You don't know that one? That one's like it's classic.
Now I really know you only listen to fucking video game OSTs.
Yeah,
Caught his ass.
What, does everybody know who Scatman John is?
yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yup.
listen to no scat man, no nothing.
I don't listen to none of that ska music.
None of their weird mainstream shit.
Yeah.
You have no swag. Dude, that Woody video is so good. Shout out to that. Shout out to Buzz.
He's great for memes. Anyway, sorry, Caleb. Everyone interrupted you.
It's okay. I mean, honestly, I got distracted too. I was like, wait a fucking minute.
Wait. a minute.
For me,
I have moved my go over into 3DS Max. He is now Anna Smither. Look at this guy.
good job.
I
Congratulations.
gotta unwrap him now.
People who have anyone who's seen anime, does this happen in the series?
Hollow
Mhm.
Simpson. Boom.
For real,
and then it's like
every
a big yellow orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. It happens.
Cool.
This
Pink
is right
frosted
after
donut.
Nah, I'd win, and then he does that.
He
Peter
said, "No,
Griffin.
your ass wouldn't."
I'm pretty sure someone already did this, but fucking Gojo Peter Griffin, domain expansion, the drunken clown.
Show me
Yeah, I
all
win.
the time.
But I was gonna say, Redvox kind of struck my main inspiration for that. Well, it was a mix of two things. One, I had a very like very big switch in direction of how my art switched in like 2018, and it was watching anime for the first time and then listening to my favorite band for the first time, Red Fox, because My Hero Academia, I just liked the art style and I thought the story was interesting for like 15-year-old me. I was like, yes,
You don't
this
like the art style?
this is
from here?
awesome.
No, he
No,
liked it.
wait,
He liked
no,
it. He said he
I
liked
love it.
Like, never
No,
mind. I thought you
he.
said you don't like. I'm like, bro, I fuck with that art style.
Are you kidding? Have you seen my art?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You don't.
Yeah, no.
Don't fucking
That's
with. I
literally-
don't fuck with myself.
I don't care what people say. Maybe it's not as good, but My Hero's still pretty good.
I think it's good.
Corey's art, he knows how to draw women very, very well.
Yeah. The
You can draw men pretty well too.
He knows how to draw eyes very well.
no, yeah, that's why.
And now with his teeth and shit, but those shit good.
His expressions and just like the way he conveys like body language is really interesting. But there's that My Hero Academia and then Red Vox, which is Mr. Vinesauce rock band. But he also has that kind of hint of kind of like space sci-fi within his music, especially in the more recent albums. And I think a lot of Red Vox music gives me that same kind of sense of inspiration for story, like animatics and even writing, because it fits the bill so well for what I'm looking for, and kind of just it molded itself into what is the main inspiration of this guy right here. Even though he's listening to Foo Fighters right now, but
My Hero ripped me off. True story. I remember when that shit came out. I'm like, hey, this guy's kind of like Len, bro. Has no powers, but kind of gets powers.
but he's green, dude.
That's
It's
it.
different.
Green
Iggy.
Ven. Green Ven when his name is Midori.
His name isn't Green then.
Yeah, dude, he's different. I mean, I don't think. I'll show old art on a later stream, but a lot of my old art, you can tell that it's very much inspired, and then it molded into what I draw today. And listen to Redbox, because I mean, if you have streaming music on, I don't think it should be copyrighted either.
Oh shit.
Shout out to Vine Sauce, really small upcoming creator.
Yeah.
Really small upcoming creator. I think everyone should check him out.
Underground creator.
Yeah.
They're finally doing another live show after like 8 years. But it's at too many games, so I can't go.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
We'll do one just in case it's copyrighted.
It's days like
There
this
we
where
go.
it's days like this where I really appreciate being an artist.
What the hell is that?
What are you drawing, buddy?
It's Fred Desk
Is
dying.
this Lost?
Ah,
Is this
It's,
Lost? Speaking of,
I don't know why I thought that was Roman with a backwards hat.
you know, Benny, when you were talking about listening to it, your first ELO album, you're like, something just clicks with you. That's what me. That's the opposite, the exact opposite of me when I heard Limp Bizkit for the first time, and I was like, turn this shit
Yeah, no.
off.
I'm like, yo, turn this shit
Stop.
off.
Turn that off right now.
No, get that music off.
Get it off my
off.
station. But I did actually have one an artist that I like really clicked with me, and what's weird is he's just a piano composer, and so he just his name's Kyle Landry. I'm pretty sure I have mentioned him so many times, but like his works for piano, I think volume 6. I listened to just one song. It's like The Awakening of a Hero, and it like perfectly captures this kind of fantastical feel. Like it feels like I'm in a medieval bar, and then he picks it up, and it just without words, it feels like the name of the song, like a hero is being called to action, and he's kind of walking out of this medieval tavern, and it's like wow. And then I listened to the whole thing, and I was like, this is great. This is great.
that's
Like
awesome.
I need a hero. I'm holding out a hero.
No, yeah,
Dude, we were
that, but,
talking
like,
about
there
that
was no
fucking
words. It was
yesterday,
just-
honestly.
It's just a piano track that was going hard.
You know what? Music does that to people. It's like kind
It
of fun.
does.
Bro,
It's a-
fucking Hikaru Utada music makes me go like, damn, this shit fucking motivating
evil.
me to draw. When
You
that
know-
shit
you know
played at
music-
the end of Kingdom Hearts, I was like, hold on, they might be cooking. Even though it was the opening, it had no effect on me when I started the game. But then I beat the game and it plays. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I
Okay,
know
this-
exactly what you mean. Fucking sorry, bringing it back to Time real quick is the first song I actually listened to on Time was the last one. It's called Epilogue. That's the reason I clicked on it, because I was like, the name Epilogue. I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I like that. And it's just an instrumental, and it's like, you know, it's if you heard the song, you know how it kind of goes. And so I was like, Epilogue. You know, that implies, you know, it's the ending of something. And Time was the first concept album I really listened to. I went and found the first song called Prologue. And Epilogue is like a redux of Prologue, and there's little motifs throughout the album that basically that song Epilogue, when I heard it for the first time after listening to the whole album, I teared up because it's like it takes bits and pieces from almost every song and just throws them together in this great finale. And I'm like, yeah, it didn't hit me the first time I listened to it, but you know, now that I had the context of everything, you know, hearing it, I'm like, damn.
I don't even need to know. Like, Persona 3, one of those songs is, there's a song that they play, like, in the last part of the game, like, an instrumental version, right? And I thought nothing of it until I finished the game, and the credit song is the actual version of that song with the lyrics and everything. And I was like, hold on, this shit kind of sad as fuck, because the lyrics are also, like, they're spoilers if you actually listen to the lyrics, basically. You guys
Music
are-
gets a little evil when it starts making you cry.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Crazy how context can fucking fuck your shit up, dude.
I
Yeah.
fucking love the summer romance as musics we've had for like Spider-Verse with Mona Lisa, and then now the Feel It for Invincible.
I like music.
Music is for good for the soul.
What other topics we got?
All right, topic number 2. How do you find motivation to keep going
That's
when you're
funny.
writing?
Oh,
Pure unbridled stubbornness.
Sometimes it's stubbornness, but also like. So I'll say this because stubbornness it depends on what you're working on, because there are times where you'll just won't be engaged with what you're making. That's kind of, I think that's why I was talking to Logan last night. I have a whole bunch of world building docs, and one of them is based on just Earth and its history from the space race to the year 2630, and I tried to write it at work. I just wasn't engaged, so I was like, there are times where like, oh, try to flesh it out, and that can work sometimes, but if you're truly not engaged with the subject matter of what you're making, whether that is writing or illustrating, you're not going to be able to flesh it out, because art is a thing of passion.
Mhm.
It's if it's a shallow experience, then it's going to be a shallow artwork, and you don't want to make shallow artwork.
no, it's not fun that way.
I mean, yeah, that's the best way. I guess for me, it's being engaged. If like I'll write a paragraph and I'm like, oh, that was fun, and so I'll write another one, and if I keep that up, then I'll keep going. But if I eventually run out of that steam, that's when I'm like, all right, that's about it. For me, the things that I'm most engaged with when it comes to writing is I love to write stuff from like what I like to call like an analytical thing. Like I love writing things about definitions and explaining, oh, here's the context as it was. I like reading stuff like I'm reading out of a book.
Mhm.
And so I try to basically structure my writing and my documents as if, okay, I'm writing this for a book to explain it to someone, and that's what I've done with the technology doc. It's been really fun just putting together something that feels like I'd read on a Wikipedia article. I think maybe that's why I've struggled with story as of recent, because with story, you don't necessarily write a story from an analytical perspective. You write it from a narrative. And there's some parts of that I can get, other parts that I don't. I can't tell you the secret just yet as to how I fucking get into writing, because I don't know it. Like, oh, sorry, narrative writing.
What do you mean exactly?
I guess it's because it's harder for me to, again, like I said, it's harder for me to write a narrative as if it was analyzed, as if it was analytical. Because, when I write analytical pieces about writing, it's usually in the context of like a school paper, so it's already written. My story isn't written yet, so I can't write anything analytical about it just yet. At least that's my I approach it's different types of writing, so I approach it with different techniques. I've yet to find a technique that really gets me going for narratives. I'll get there though.
And for you, Logan, you said it's just brute force.
Oh, I was about to say, like, Benny just kind of went off. So the stubbornness thing was honestly a little bit of a joke. I just do it because it really just makes me happy. I've done it for so many years now that it's pretty much just kind of clicked in my head that I I I I find the motivation to write because it's exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life, and doing so makes me just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of like ignites the spark of what I know and what I want to what have in mind to put down on paper. And the fact that I've been cooking it for this long, it's just like, in an analytical sense, like, it's just like, yeah, I know everything in the back of my mind, but there's always something in from my universe, from my writing standpoint, that can be on paper. That it really is, yeah. Just I love doing it. That's really it.
I agree with Logan for the most part. It's kind of how I am about it too, I think.
Well, I mean, I do love doing it. It's just, I guess I was getting a little more specific as to, what I like motivated by.
Motivated by
That's-
pretty much just all sorts of factors of me wanting to make it a reality. That's like that's the big thing. Like,
Yeah.
the big drive of, hey, this is the project that I want out in the world, and that's what really motivates me to continue work on it. Because, hey, if there's nothing there, then there's nothing to put out. So yeah, you gotta get something on.
I
Yeah.
like that determination.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Determination.
Guy.
Wait. Oh shit, like Undertale.
I think I mostly agree with Logan. That's kind of how I've never, because the question was like how to find motivation for writing. You said.
How do you keep going on when it comes to
No, like
writing?
I never really like. I just kind of. I'm always kind of like. Anytime I have free time in my head, I'm just kind of literally just writing in my head. I don't know. It's just like an everyday thing. It's not really something I think about having to try to do.
Kevin, has this ever happened to you?
What?
Like in the drawing.
Getting shot up in the
Yeah.
laser beam
Being
cannon.
fucking this, in fact, did happen today in fucking Fallout, right before this game. True story.
Sucks to suck.
What motivates you, Caleb?
What motivates me? Let's see. Honestly, well, I mean, I draw and I'm kind of cooking right now, so I mean, I don't know. But for writing, I mean, it's hard for me to say because I haven't written in a good while. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I'm at work. I listen I kind of do nothing, and those ideas kind of come to my head. I don't have anything organized at all, but if I check my phone and my notes, I'm pretty sure I have probably 10 or 20 different uh
didn't
note
do that.
files that I could just kind of pick out and have little tidbits of information that I thought of. It's like, oh, this could be cool. Write it down. Oh, that could be an interesting point in the timeline. Write it down. Oh, I like this interesting character attribute. I'll write it down later. But you know, I mean, even my Google Docs, most of it's unfinished. So that's something I need to actually start doing. Talking about it is kind of getting me into it. So
It's good. I'm glad I get to be a part of that then.
I love hearing your writings.
thank you. Yeah,
I love
feel
seeing
like
what everyone fucking cooks up
Yeah,
because it's always really fun.
I think about it a lot, but it's like I don't think most of you guys actually know as much as I think about it, just because I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We
That's
want to
why I
know
was
more.
But I started writing my doc, so I know at least Logan knows more about it now.
I do.
It's definitely a lot harder for me, but
And that's another thing as well is like it we always talk about what we write, but we never really genuinely share with one another. Like we share like the documents and stuff like that, but like we never really I don't know, get into what we make with one another besides like me and Benny.
yeah, that's something
Like there's times where like we have a good like I strike up with a good conversation with like Kevin or like definitely with Yosh, but like Caleb, like we definitely need to go just back and forth one day just talking about cool shit we write.
I think so. You know, I think that's about due after what 2 years, 2-3 years.
I want to hear about what you make.
I'll here and maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll cook something up and I'll use one of our group chats.
That's good.
Yay!
Here,
And
Really
I can
excited about the
I
prospect
can
of
add a
that.
channel in this server.
I can share like 9 different documents for to you, Caleb.
Okay.
That's been a big part of why I've been making the docs because it's weird. I kind of like Logan has talked about it with me a little bit how it's like in some regards I kind of am just better when it comes to having people read my stuff because I feel like I kind of go all over the place. Like I'll be talking about it and there'll be a sentence I'll be like, "Oh, by the way, this leads into all this," and I'll go and talk about that. It's very much like a choose your own adventure book of a conversation, right?
Mm.
But like, I feel like if we have the doc, I feel like a good way for me to do it is like if I have the doc in front of me, and I know someone else is looking at it, and we're kind of like reading it together. You know, it's like, oh, this was interesting. It's like, oh, I can elaborate on that.
That'd actually be a really fun thing is having like fucking doc read throughs where all of us just kind of chill down and then fucking read and ask questions regarding others'
I'm
writings.
gonna do a big reveal. I'm gonna do a big reveal. Ba ba ba. As the point of these things I'm trying to do every week, and I want us to do a series of introductory kind of episodes where every one of us covers one of our own series in depth, to the rest of the people in the call. Like
I'd be all about that.
You down?
like we do a
Yeah,
little
that'd
homework,
probably-
obviously, where you have to write a little bit. You have to do a little pizzazz. Maybe make a Google slide or something. I don't know. But
Oh wait,
but
okay,
you're
you
gonna
actually
be
you've
but you're gonna be in
woken
here. You're gonna
something.
be telling us like a synopsis, where the story is, and we'll just follow you. We'll ask questions. We'll talk about various things that maybe questions come up during your
Make me
little
pull up. Don't.
presentation, during something like that. But I wanted to do that sometime in the future. I want to get like a little more comfortable. Everyone in here just speaking to the stream, speaking to the camera, speaking to each other. Make sure the conversations flow a little well. I think that's what went better today. We did a little small talk, and I think that made it flow a lot better. Like we're talking a little more than previous weeks, but also there's a little bit more of us. But yeah.
Mhm.
I am all about the you mentioned the Google slide because our buddy Stardust Jai, he did something like that for he has a comic he's working on, and he basically in one of our other surveys did a big he got everyone together, and he just did a Google slideshow talking about characters, locations. That's literally it. My document is meant to be that, but in text format, and I do want to make a Google slide to go with it at some point. Because the way he did that, I was so engaged and so into it, and I retained so much of that information that I was like, I want to make one of these. It.
That actually,
I would love to do a Google slide and then present it.
that does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I might just do that.
Don't make me whip out the quiz again.
Oh,
Look,
trust
we
me, the
just
quiz is
gotta
gonna fucking.
we gotta claim an order unless you guys want to do it all in one day. But I don't know if we can have enough time to that. So
I feel like we can just designate it for each stream.
Yeah,
so
there's no.
so like in the topics list or in the topics channel, just if you finish up, let us know. If you finish up your presentation, and then you'll be the topic for the week.
That'd be awesome.
Getting ready for work.
Oh yeah, so Elio has to zip because he's got work.
What?
Oh yeah, still got like
No.
still got to change.
But the
checking if it's
contract.
hot or cold, what to wear today. It's fine. I'll be right back to get my clothes.
But our contract. But
You have to stay, dude.
Call them and let them know you'll be late.
let him
Yeah,
know.
something important is going on. I'm making a career out here.
Yeah.
Your mom ate your dog or something like that.
We're currently streaming to 40 billion individuals.
Yeah, but like what Benny was saying earlier, it's just like when it comes to like talking about our actual stories and stuff. Like I know we definitely do it in here. It's just it's like what Benny says. I kind of get sidetracked whenever I talk about things because like when talking about things I want to focus on in my stories, it always leads off into like, oh, I want you to know about this. I want you to know about this. But then at the same time, I also have a really bad habit that I'm trying to break, where it's just like, it's often I need to be provoked in order to actually talk about my stuff. Other than that, I'm just kind of like sitting, just letting it fester in my brain before I actually let anyone else know about it.
We gotta.
I'm like the
fair.
opposite. Like I'll just if I see an opportunity to talk about stuff, I'll be like, hey, this actually reminds me of this thing I'm working on.
Yeah,
And I love doing that.
I'm the
Well,
polar opposite of that. Like my brain automatically defaults to like, okay, I'm gonna wait it out when everyone else is done talking, and then if they ask me, then I'll say something. But then if not, I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs.
I kind of do that too. When I do talk about stuff, I feel like I play it down a little bit. I don't
What?
like. Sometimes I gotta be in a certain mood to like talk about my stuff.
I'm always down to talk about my stuff, but like I said, I just need provocation.
I do not know how much I want to talk. I like with you guys. I'm comfortable with her, but for the stream, I do not fuck with sharing with too much of my story.
Oh yeah, I get it. You're under that fucking self-mandated NDA.
Yes, my fucking NDA. Because I hopefully want it to be something one day, and then what? Somebody just finds a random stream with spoilers.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Like I have everything for one of my projects, the big project, the one that everyone here knows. Like all of that. Like I want to keep a lot of that under wraps, but everything regarding to the other cool project, fucking that it's tied with the smaller one, the one that I hopefully want to get out here sooner than later. That one I'm willing to spiel about. Like it's really on stream. You gotta have a topic that you'd want to talk about and let the world know. But then off stream, if we're just talking with each other, it definitely is just a fun thing to open up with one another about what kind of cool things you're cooking.
I only have 2 days of school left. I am scared of Thursday because that's when I have actual tests, and I was like, fucking man.
How's your
I'm
grades
scared
right
of the
now?
grades. They're good for the most part.
Bomb
Where
it.
do you go
No.
to school? Can you let
Huh?
us know?
What?
Where do you go to school? Can you let us know? What's
Yeah,
the
tell us where you live.
Cause fucking Thursday, I'm I'm pretty sure I'll pass both classes, but I want to get the best grades I can because I was on academic probation for a bit because I failed math class. But I got straight A's last semester, and all my major classes are straight A's again. It was my fucking gen ed. It's always the goddamn gen eds. They're
Math
ridiculous.
fucking sucks.
Math should like be illegal.
There's like one math class that I have on my list of courses I'm gonna take when I go back to school that seemed like a piss easy math thing, but I'll have to get a follow up on that.
Logan, check out my screen.
I fucking know that guy.
I've seen both of you in real life. You both look like the drawings you guys have done.
Yeah. What is bro trying to say though? Oh, there it is.
Read that.
He has an epiphany.
Ew. I like drawing really long gums now.
Yeah.
Really like
Yeah,
it.
I hate that you like that now. Actually,
Yeah, you should.
I
you
hate that that
shouldn't
brings
like
you
that.
joy.
God, Caleb, you didn't even send the picture of it yesterday. Fucking, he was drawing a really flattering image of our buddy Andy and our buddy Gabe in a car
No,
together.
I always saw it.
Oh, you did?
I'm a head out now, fellas.
All right, love you, Kevin.
It was right
Bye,
here.
Kevin.
Miss him.
It's our friend Andy.
that's
He-
Slow
he-
Boy on YouTube.com.
Yeah, that slow boy. He's been addicted to nicotine dip recently.
He got that. He's packing the tobacco in his cheek.
He's quite literally packing a
Want
lip.
some dip? No, Andy, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's like a real Gabe, not a fucking Gabe's little bastard.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is he actually packing
no,
a
that's-
dick?
Today's the day.
Then I drew our
That's so
buddy
funny.
Muncho.
Ugh.
It sucks that he's not here today.
Why
Yeah.
is
Sleep
his,
right now.
Why do his gums go so far back?
I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask him.
It's a personal issue.
Anyways, what else am I gonna do with this? Oh yeah, I had to fucking erase the entire sketch because I accidentally merged layers and I don't remember when.
Sucks.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I've had to do that before.
but
Well, when the layers merged.
I actually think I did it with this version of General Grievous. I think I did that.
That's my fucking
I what you cooking up, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this meant to be like if he was a 2630 character. I mean, it's just kind of just a cool General Grievous drawing, but you know.
He'd be grieving
Little
his
redesign
ass.
with it.
Can you zoom in on that little Evelyn that you drew? I want to see that really quick.
This is my BIB.
Oh.
He's like
Soul
a
sucked
Blindly
out of her,
friend.
actually.
Yeah.
Been exhumed. Oh,
Ugh.
my chair is in a state. I don't want to end up like Gabe.
What's wrong with Gabe?
No, his chair just fell apart.
Yeah, it literally felt
Oh.
like a Lego piece.
If I had a nickel for every time Gabe
Wow,
broke a
that's
chair, I'd have like 5 nickels,
It's
which
a
is
lot of
crazy. It's happened that many
nickels.
times.
It's just so many
Has
nickels.
it really been that many times? It was a bit disingenuous.
Okay, it's probably been like 3.
He broke his first chair, and then Willow.
Oh, yeah, he did
bought
break his
me
first chair. That's 4 now.
Another chair, and then he broke another.
Yeah,
one.
because then he broke 2 of mine.
So yeah, so it's about 3 or 4, 5.
I still don't have my computer
Gabe, we
chair.
love you to death.
It's fucking crazy.
Grip tuning the stream and hearing the insane slander.
Gabe, if you're watching this, what's the next stream?
Gabe actually,
Yeah.
Gabe actually
Dude,
eats
I
car
miss you.
parts.
I miss you, stupid.tv.twitch.
I was
Twitch.tv
watching
slash
some
Houston.
old I was watching the VODs last night, but then I also went and watched the old Valve videos. Like, man, those are funny.
I think
It's
yeah,
really funny.
the one where I censor everything is I think that's my best video.
It's
ever
so
released.
funny. I need to. I'm talking about getting a new mic. I think that was when I had my old mic that Logan and his folks gave me. I need to find that because I'm probably gonna get another version of that mic because the audio quality was so nice.
One Piece. I love Brooke.
That's actually where they hid the One Piece. It's in Brooke's mouth.
Yeah, Livy's just too stupid to check.
It's actually at the roof of Brooke's mouth, but they don't know it's in
fucking
there because he
dangling off
can't
his uvula.
he can't feel it because he's a skeleton.
You
That's
think it's just
silly.
bone, but it's like, oh shit, that's the One Piece.
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my
I
God,
think
what? What are you doing?
Logan's internet might have died, so now it's
Yeah,
just
It's okay, we'll still be here.
it's just
Three
the
of us.
three of us, just the three of us.
So that would go
Just the
weather.
3 of us. There we go.
There he is.
Hi, little guy.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Yeah,
Aw, you little
I-
guy.
I'm not really drawing right now because I just noticed I've been dueling. I'm not in a real drawing mood right now. Since today is write day, I'm kind of in a writing mood today. And that's why I'm exactly what I'm gonna fucking do.
All right, Libro right. Now back on the writing topic. How do you guys structure yourselves? Like, what do you prioritize when you begin writing? Like, do you just go where your narrative currently is and you continue from there, or do you like have an idea for the overall world and then you start from there and you go back all the way through?
Actually, so it kind of flip flops a little bit because yeah, sometimes I'll start with a setting and then be like, okay, well, what can the characters do here? You know, what is the story? What is the arcs they go through? But other times, yeah, I'll go through more linear. Recently, I've been trying to take it more linear. I've kind of rewritten the beginning of my story because it's been so up in the air as of recent. Well, it was as of recent. I've actually been kind of getting things on track. So I've been writing like it very linear. Basically, you know, we introduce a character. This is where they're at right now. This is what they do. Here's where they go, and then I talk about that location, the character they meet there, the thing they do there. That's just been very digestible for me because you know it's like it's very easy to follow that kind of structure.
And you, Logan?
For me personally, whenever I start writing out a project, it doesn't even matter what the project is. Like it could be like a world doc, a tech doc, a fucking like character doc, everything along those lines. Like when it comes to writing for a certain project, I like to know at least what I'm working with. So basic world, start with a little bit of characters, and then like what kind of things make up this story that I'm writing. And then from there onward, I like to have at least some sort of like small starting point. If not, everything just kind of starts putting itself together as like a weird hodgepodge puzzle piece. Like I start developing like side things, like I don't know, like example. One of the stories that I have for my anthology that I'm writing right now, like say it's all based around fucking cryptids, cryptozoology, and stuff like that. Like, okay, basis right there. Like, yeah, spooky world, spooky animals, spooky shit. But then, like from there onward, like write out the characters. Okay, who are there? Oh yeah, we're dealing with a bunch of orphans. Okay, what do the orphans do? They live in a house? No, they live in a traveling orphanage. Yes, there's a traveling orphanage. So it basically gets its groundwork from there. Start thinking about like, okay, what kind of place do they go to? What kind of shit do they see? What kind of stuff do they deal with in their lives? And then it pretty much all just starts. It's like a snowball process, pretty much. Like everything that I write, pretty much is collectively gathered together in a weird spirit bomb of writing until I have something cohesive enough to start a groundwork starting point.
So
You know what I'm saying?
So this traveling orphanage, is it just adopt homeless kids or?
Yeah. Okay. So yes, the way that it works is basically it's this one dude. He basically carries around an 11-story orphanage on his back. He full on carries it across the ocean, across the land, just trying to get rid of these goddamn orphans. No one wants them because they're weird.
I wouldn't buy these kids either.
Yeah, the way that I like to describe that fucking story, it's for my comic. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm working on a comic anthology right now. It is it is 6 different stories, and one of them is I call it the Creepy Chaotic Capers of Spo, and Yeah, so the whole thing is the way that I describe it is imagine like Invader Zim, all of Tim Burton's movies, combine that with fucking the Wild Thornberries. That's the way that I would pretty much say it is these little orphans, they go across the fucking world trying to get pawned off to whoever wants to deal with them. All the while they have to deal with fucked up monsters, cryptids, demons, and shit like that while trying to survive. And
Sounds
Cool.
sick.
like I said, it all starts with the basic general idea, and then it's just all snowballs together into one cohesive piece. And now I do that exact same process 5 different other times, 5 different stories, 5 different worlds, 5 different extra shit, and then you got yourself the time of your life when it comes to writing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mhm.
What was it? The questions about structure?
Yeah. How do you structure it? Where do you start?
Where do I start?
When you
Where?
come back.
Bullet
Where do
points
you
are
start?
also the best
Where?
fucking thing a
Well-
man could ever ask for.
That's what I do. I start with bullet points, which is, I
Okay.
guess, going back. I look at my notes that I write down in my Apple Notes at work. Main thing I really prioritize, I guess, is a thing I thought about a lot actually, where I like the linear focus of a character, like I guess it'd be cause and effect, but also just conflict where a character has this thing and then they have to go on a mini adventure to solve or fix or get rid of said thing, and point A, point B type of way, except there's a lot of in between events that happen, and I like the idea of a character goal starting off kind of changing or breaking up into different paths, different branches. I guess that's how I would envision it. So you go from point A from point B. You're at point B, okay. You have probably like 3 more branches that kind of keep going on forward of different goals, different quests, I guess with Orion, for example, he in particular wants to get rid of a artifact that's stuck to his chest because he doesn't want it and it scares the shit out of him. And as he is making his way into point B to get rid of said thing, his mindset changes, his goal changes. He's like, maybe I don't want to. Maybe there's a little more to this than there seems to be, And I like that as definitely a character focus, but I think it changes a lot in a narrative perspective as well.
So you do more character-driven storytelling, where it follows the character.
It's an idea, yeah. It's a preference. I think characters I think people make the world go round in a way.
I see.
But I also like the idea of just like sometimes you gotta let the world kind of just do its thing naturally. But definitely I do have a preference for character focused ideas. Because humans are kind of fun. People are kind of cool.
Yeah,
They can be, unless they're bad. Unless they
I
kill
love
you.
writing people.
Unless they kill you and like.
Yeah, kick.
beat
I
you.
love writing kick. It's really fun.
That is fun. I think that's where I'm stuck at. I'm decent enough at doing that, but world building is kind of a whole other leap. That it's definitely an obstacle to get through. And starting off with space is definitely kind of a ambitious.
Because then when you start off in space, like the world's your fucking burrito with that one. You get to do. No one really knows what's out there truly, so it's just like you get to do whatever the fuck you want, and that leaves a lot of creative freedom. But it's also very intimidating because you have so much to fill in.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very ambitious, but honestly, you kind of don't really have to follow any rules.
We're talking about that's why I love sci-fi so much. It's like, yeah, there's like sure there's a precedent that's set, but who's
Called
really gonna
sci-fi,
police what
dog.
goes on in sci-fi, right?
The science and the fiction, baby.
You can make an explanation for like some stupid bullshit, and people will just go along with it
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
because it just makes sense. Sci-fi, right?
Me and my giggle
Exactly.
dogs.
At least it should make sense within the context of what is.
My whole thing is if the characters can believe it, then the audience, that should be enough for the audience. You know?
I like that.
Because if the characters have no reason to believe what's going on around them, then why should the audience, right?
Yeah.
I'd say like people are about as engaged in a world as the characters will be. You know?
I think I might take a little break from this little piece, but
Next, John Young.
Me?
Yeah, what about
Me?
you?
For me, I do similar to Caleb, where I just have one character that I really like. I really like where they're going, and I like their direction, and so they are right now the main. They are the main character, obviously, but I write based on where what I think they would do, where they would take the story based on, and then based on how the world is right now, and then another part of my uh, another part of my inspiration for writing stories in the first place is uh, movies like Game of Thrones, or not movies, shows like Game of Thrones, movies like Lord of the Rings, books like if you guys have read The Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson, or Malzahn Book of the Fallen, or fuck, what's the other one? I forget what the other one is. But
You really
like,
have to Tolkien it.
yeah, but like it's where these books where like the world kind of is so fantastical that it kind of controls the narrative in every way, like every aspect of the narrative, from the way the characters have to walk to the way the characters have to go to certain places or behave in certain ways because of like maybe it's like tradition in this world, or maybe it's to avoid this very specific magic thing. And I think that's what makes stories very engaging to me, very interesting to read, is finding something that takes you somewhere so completely different that you have to behave in a way to kind of in reaction to that. And so I've written out a world, and it's not very fleshed out, but yeah.
I like that.
I start character world, and then the narrative kind of just flows based on that.
Yeah, I mean it's like same
Damn
principle
straight,
as
Siri.
characters make world go round. One thing I like recently, I haven't started watching it fully, but I like seeing people talk about it on my feed. But Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Meshi,
Yeah,
I like that, and especially as a fantasy setting, I like that people kind of just fucking go into dungeons and kill monsters. I think for money, to pay
he
bills.
sort of, and he just likes eating them.
That too. But still, it's a big element within that story that kind of just hovers around the entire story from what I've seen. Basically the basis of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
similar to that and Freerun, right, where they again more fantastical worlds with the very unique rules and very, but they all follow them, and then they have like they interact with them in unique ways, and it's like that's what makes stories interesting to me.
Yeah, man. Fantasy Lucky is also just kind of fucking cool.
It is fire, chat. It's fire. I fuck with it heavy.
Monstrously, even.
I'll be fucking with it heavy. But sometimes I'm like reading I'll read like a sci-fi fantasy, and I'm like, ooh, that'd be cool. But I was like, but I'm doing a high fantasy thing, and I'm like, if I add it, it won't really make sense. But like that's dope.
It
Like some,
definitely is kind of like two sides of that coin.
yeah,
So
it locks you into a very specific genre of thing, and you can't
yeah,
really add anything. But there's just so much in it because there's like folklore from fucking 12 trillion years ago.
yeah. It's like, I mean, it could have been real, but I mean, you don't know that because you weren't born then.
You
Yeah,
weren't born then.
Yeah, you
exactly. What do you do? Cite your fucking sources.
You weren't born in year 2. That's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. You were born in 2011, man.
I saw your ass.
Yeah,
BC or
exactly.
AD?
Yeah, 2011 BC. You were dead before it happened, bro.
Yeah, you don't know what went on during 2010. So
BC.
fucking claim it, dude. 2011.
Being 4,020 years old is actually kind of high.
That's right. Maybe in another life.
Dude, that's what's cool about fantasy is you get to just be really, really old for no reason.
That's actually kind of true. You get to be old and you don't have to deal with old people problems.
Yeah, because you just like you got like magic and shit. So it's like
Oh, that's I mean, yeah. I also like wrote like that into 2680. Human life expectancy is so crazy long. Well, it's not like I think it's like it's not. It's just under 2 centuries is how like the extent of how old a human can live now. I think it's like 180 is the max is around like the upper limit.
You tell me it grew?
Yeah.
Oh.
On the tech doc, I have something called the Satch Bladder, which it was. I mean, this might get a bit tangential, but I mean,
go ahead, go ahead.
if
You're
you
just
guys,
talking about writing, so
it's true, and I did write this, but yeah. So the idea was when going to space, it's really taxing on the body. So naturally, if you're gonna become a spacefaring civilization, how do you account for your people going in and out of space, right? Because I have it written, humans have spent a million years being fine-tuned for this planet, and now they're gonna go live on Mars. There's some hoops they're gonna have to jump through in order to make that happen. And they themselves don't find the solution. The aliens called the Plagerians do. And it's a new organ called the Satch Bladder, or the acclimation system. And I won't go into detail as to how it works, but I do have it down how the organ itself works. But what it does is it allows humans to acclimate to planets and environments that aren't their own. And obviously, the original intent was, oh, we can go to space now. But it helps. Basically, now people can climb mountains without having to worry about oxygen sickness. They can, they adapt to that kind of stuff. And then I had others like the immune system. It now you don't get sick the way you would normally. It's because the body kind of it doesn't adapt to this. Well, it adapts to the sickness, not in a way like it adopts it. It like just does so in a way that doesn't make you fall ill. Stuff like organ transplants and blood transfusions, they can't really go wrong now because the body adapts to the new blood of the organ, so you don't need matching blood types anymore. And then there was ones, really it's cool. Like all that stuff combined makes it so humans just live for a long time now. It's kind of just like there's this concept where I'm like, man, like this really can just cascade into being an organ that really solves a lot of issues, which is good because it means I don't have to address them in the story.
Yeah, so you found a workaround to it.
Yeah, big workaround.
That was really cool though. I liked it a lot.
This is actually one of my questions on my list. Do you guys have any like favorite moments where you're like, oh shit, that's dope. I wrote that right now. I came up with that right now in my mind. Like, what are your
absolutely,
favorite writing moments?
The tech doc right now. I'll send it to the Discord just for now in case, because that one is probably like when it comes to just you guys. That's when I'm like, oh, I would like you guys to read that one probably, because I've been really hitting my shreds with this one. But I'll put it in general.
Yeah, just put it there. I'll make a text sharing channel after the stream ends.
Sweet. But yeah, this has been really cool because I mean I talked about it earlier. It's just some of this stuff these are concepts that have been in 2680 since the original idea in middle school, and they finally have explanations as to how they work, and other things are like things like more recent ideas. I'm like, oh, I should explain how that works, by the way. And it's been really, really fun just fleshing this stuff out.
What about you, Caleb? Do you have anything? You're like, oh shit, I love this character, or I love this specific scene I have in my mind, and I'm never gonna delete it.
I like this thing. This one's my screen right now.
Going to stop sharing for now because I'm not trying anymore.
This thing's kind of alright. I mean, let me see. Let me try to think of something that I would want to share right now. Because, I mean, as once again, none of it is really super fleshed out. But honestly, I don't really think I have anything like that right now. But once I do write a doc, I think I will kind of maybe in another stream or probably just talk about it in a chat at some point. Just be like, yeah, I really like this part I drew or I wrote. I think it's really cool and I think it interconnects a lot. So at the moment, I'm kind of a little blank.
So, because I've been working on the series for so damn long, everything about it has been the best when it comes to writing. Because I've told this to Benny before, and you guys, I probably mentioned it in passing with you guys, but when I write, since I have so much content and stuff that I've been working with for so long, like I have all sorts of things under the sun on the back burner, and pretty much whenever a moment rises, whenever I'm writing something, the way that I describe it is everything pretty much begins to fall into place. Like I could have a moment where like I'm writing like an exciting portion of the story, certain arc, certain character interactions, and then all of a sudden I think back to a piece of information or fucking lore that I had back years, months ago, written down. It was just like, okay, shit, I can make this connect with this, and then this can lead into this, and everything begins to fall into place, and the story continues forth in a more grander scale. And that, in my opinion, is the best fucking feeling, is when things go even further beyond than what you wanted to be.
That's awesome.
Like
Yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. It's just like when when something explodes into something bigger than what you originally intended and it just works. It's so satisfying.
Like connecting all the pieces together into a way that you wouldn't have thought of a little bit ago, but now that you're actually thinking about it and everything just clicks, it's the best.
All right, final question. I think I'm gonna cut us off at at an hour 30, which is
Okay.
like 5 minutes. So, final question before we go. What's everyone's favorite writing trope?
My favorite writing trope. Ooh.
Can I say this one first?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Literally every single piece of fucking story related content that I have, no matter what it is, has the found family trope somewhere embedded into it.
It's actually facts.
Like something about a bunch of schlubs who really care about one another, and like I am a firm 100% believer that being a family does not mean being blood related, and having just people who care about you and being able to be close with them is the coolest fucking shit. Like every single good story that you've read probably has the found family trope in it, and just exemplifying that in like different unique ways, how these characters interact, how they bond with one another, how their relationships flow throughout the entire story, whatever they're in, whether it's a movie, a TV series, a book, or whatever. Like just seeing how they relate to one another and how they truly connect, it always fucking rules. And that's why I always incorporate it into a lot of things, because it just clicks with me. I fucking love writing it. There's so many ways that you can write it. There's so many ways that can be applied. But the bottom line is, it's just like, yeah, being a family doesn't mean being blood related. It's just connecting with these people who either make you feel safe or connected with. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I could totally. Yeah, I mean, found family. It's literally the crux of my story as well. It's this little
Me
space
too.
crew. They start off just as that, a space crew. By the end of it, they're family.
Is it unanimous?
Well, I have some others that I also would like to bring up just for the sake of not being repetitive, but I'll try and keep it brief. I love one of my favorites. I guess it's more of a character specific writing trope, but I love characters who do the right thing solely because it is the right thing to do. We talked about a little bit of Superman, how he's fully capable of just subjugating all of Earth, but he loves it, and he would never want to do that. And I love that. That's kind of how my thing with my main character Cody. he literally all the stuff he does, it's just because he wants the best for others. You know, he very rarely acts selfish. You know, he just kind of is always thinking, well, what can I do for others? And you know, it's something that I find so admirable because it's easier said than done, right? It's very easy to say, oh, you know, always put others before yourself, but to actually like do that at every step of the way, you know, it's a lot to ask of people, you know.
I know that guy.
And I guess one other thought is I like Enemies to Lovers. Enemies to Lovers is one of my favorites.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, Caleb, what about you?
Honestly, I do really agree with the found family trope because that is very much just stuck in my story. I think both stories too. I have one that I don't really want to share right now, just because it's there's too little information, but I think that is kind of my favorite.
You also
And
like a big found family, friends. Big
Yeah,
found
I
family
think
and friends in this chat. We love it. We love found family.
I'm also a believer of my friends can be my family, and yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm drawing it right now.
Look,
Yeah,
that's
we're
us.
found family.
Let's see.
Like I
So,
said, I treat a majority of these people in here as my siblings. So
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys are my brothers.
Nothing short of it.
yes, sir. All right. My favorite trope is I don't know what the trope is called, and it's mainly an anime thing. But I love an anti-hero who's like just fucking jacked, and he's kind of like this force of nature. He just walks around and he does whatever the fuck he wants, and half the time it's like it's just to fuck with the MC. He just comes in, he fucks with him, and then he dips, and he's gone forever, and then he comes back randomly. I fuck with that
Shadow
guy.
the Hedgehog.
Yeah, like Shadow the Hedgehog, where he comes in and he just fucks Shadow's or he fucks Sonic's shit up. And he's like, but I ain't gonna stop you from saving the world though. Peace, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Can't even think of a character that would be like that. I mean,
It just I think it's mainly an anime trope thing, but I think I fuck with that. Anyway, that is gonna do it for the stream. This is episode 3 of Work in Progress. I have been Steinix, aka Stinix, aka Stinks, aka also Justin, as they've been referring to me in this call. You could find everybody here on Twitter. Box it over with your Twitter. Go.
Boxanova, BOXANOVA, and another A at the end.
Dude, that could be like a hit song.
Thank you.
Ben, your socials.
I'm Benny or Begny or Benjamin or Benoy Roma. You can find me on Twitter _Benoy Roma _BENOYROMA.
And Logan, lastly, your socials. Go.
I'm Lepino. They call me the Lepin Lad. My Twitter is just all capital Lepin Lad.
All right, that has been Work in Progress, episode 3. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.